Hey, what's going on? Keith from Gold Star Dirt here. Just wanted to do a video and for the Easter weekend, so happy Easter to everybody. This DJI Mavic AIR, comes in this super cool box. So I also want to talk about the reason why I got the drone. The drone I didn't get so I could play around with a new toy and stuff like that. It actually has a purpose. So I got it because it has FPV or first-person view and camera on it, and you can fly it around and take really good footage of, I can take footage of the families, and say if we go to memorial sites, we can take footage from the air of us at the memorial and the houses and the families and the area, the land around where the people live and stuff, because I'm trying to tell a story, a visual representation of their story of everything and where the person lived and what it was like and friends and family and everything. So that's the purpose behind the drone. So yeah, the DJI Mavic AIR, DJI, I did some research on YouTube, and they make really good products. They have these other drones like the Mavic Pro and stuff, but the Mavic Air is the newest one of their line, and from my research it says what I should get, and it's based on a lot of good function it has. So it comes with a really cool carrying case. You open it up, and here it is. It's really small, and here's my cell phone. It's about the size of a cell phone. You take it out of the case, and this one is Arctic White. It comes in 3 different colors, red, black, and Arctic White. So when you open it up, you fold out these back legs like this, then the front legs, and then it folds out into this quadcopter. Then it has these legs right here that fold down. They're landing gear, but also they double as Wi-Fi antennas. So it flies via Wi-Fi on your phone. It's really, really cool, really reliable. And then it sits down like this. So it has a battery compartment right here. I bought 3 batteries. So here's the 3 batteries. The average flight time of one battery is about 21 minutes. So that's why I bought 3 batteries, because you don't know how you're going to get those shots. If you fly out over some mountains or whatever terrain, you're going to get some good run-ins, some video. You want to be able to have some batteries. So it comes with this charger that comes with it that plugs into your house, and you'd be able to charge 1 battery at a time. And that would go, this would plug in this battery right here, and then you could charge this battery. But since I bought more batteries, they also make this really cool quad or 4 battery charger, and it runs on firmware also, and it has a USB micro port on the bottom to update firmware as they come out with updates. So what's really cool is you can take this battery charger and plug the batteries in this way. Find the proper way to plug this in. Batteries go in like this. Plug in. And what's cool about this charger is then this plugs into the bottom, and then what it does is systematically find out which battery needs charging, the most charging first, starts with that one, and then moves up to the other ones, and then they're all charged. And it works pretty quick. I charged all 3 batteries today, and it didn't take any time at all, really, probably like 30 minutes. So it's a really efficient charger and a great buy. So I would say if you're going to get this, buy one of these chargers also. It would really save your time. So the batteries, they have a little button on the back, and you press the button, and it will tell you how much battery life is in it. Lights up. Then you put this battery in like this, bottom first, and then it clicks in. It has these two levers on the side that click in. Also, the camera is right here on the front, so it has this little cover. It's a gimbal cover is what it's called. So it comes off. Just press this on the bottom. Comes off really easy. Has a really nice gimbal camera. So gimbal camera, I'm not really sure if you know about it, but it's like if you've heard of a gyro or whatever. What it'll do is keep this camera absolutely straight. Even if there's wind or the drone's moving like this, the camera will stay absolutely straight while you're flying. Really, really smart feature. It has sensors on the front, the bottom, and the rear, so it'll sense any ground or anything, and it won't hit anything. It has propeller guards that come with it also for beginner flyers, and it's just really smart. On the back, it has a door that opens up, and it has a slot for a micro SD card and a Cat-C cable card, so you can update the firmware by just plugging this cord in here, which has it's Cat-C and then has USB on this end. Also, you can plug it into your computer and use this kind of like a hard drive to extract the footage that's on here if you don't want to pull out the micro SD card and plug it into your computer. Also, the great feature about this is that if you forget somehow the card in here, it has 8 megabytes of onboard storage. So you can actually fly this drone without the card and pull some great footage with that also. Great feature, I guess, they added from the other drones. So onboard storage, and you can change in the settings on how you want to fill up the SD card, then the storage, or whatever, what have you. Really, really great product. I can't believe it. It has a GPS antenna right here, and then it has fans in here also to keep it cool while it's flying. GPS is on top. I locked on today to 17 satellites. Really great feature about this is that when you turn it on and lock it on, it will lock up to the satellites and then establish its home point to where it's actually located at. Then, when you take this thing off, you take off, and then it will lock onto that home point no matter how far it flies away, and you can't see it. It's kind of hard in the clouds to see this thing because it's white, but it'll take off, fly away, and you can hit return, and it'll return via GPS exactly where it took off from and land, and then shut down. And like, you think quadcopter and stuff is hard to fly. This thing is really, really easy to fly. It's ridiculously easy to fly. And just to say that, like, when I was a kid, my dad and I used to do remote control airplanes and stuff together. And so I, not too long ago, bought a remote control helicopter. And the learning curve on that thing is ridiculous. It was so hard to fly. I took it out and I tried to fly it, and it was like a hummingbird on crack. I mean, things like brah, 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 all over the place. Super hard to fly. I couldn't even fly it. So then I bought this, and this thing, it just takes off ridiculously easy and flies. It's a dream to fly. So this thing, I highly recommend using this thing. Comes with a really cool remote control. It has these little wafer antennas that fold up like this. And then on the bottom of the controller, these fold out, and these are where your phone goes into to act as your control screen, and that's really cool. On the bottom here also, you pull out these little toggles, the controllers that screw in to the actual controller, so when you have this thing packed away for storage, these things won't bounce around and break any of the servos or any of the controllers in here. And that's a really wonderful feature also. And it has power button. It has buttons that you can assign functions to. It has a still camera photo button, and then has a record button, and then has a gimbal controller button right here where you can actually control the camera while it's in the air. That's really cool. So the way this thing kind of works is you have your phone here, and I have mine in a case, so you have to take your phone out of a case and then plug it in here, and it comes with 3 cables here. And these cables unplug from the side, and you can, if you have an Android phone, you can put the cable on there for the USB, for the micro USB for the Android. This one comes installed with the Apple Lightning adapter in it. So you can easily plug in your iPhone into this thing, and then put your phone in like this, and then here you have where you would see your first-person view, and then there's an app, you get the DJI app, and then you open it up, and the controller will sync up to the aircraft, and then talk to it, and then you could fly it. It's amazing, you know. This thing just absolutely blew my mind when I was flying it at first. So there we have it. So there's the DJI Mavic AIR. I'm really excited to take this thing on the road and to get great footage of the families and everything, and really connect with people on this trip. So it's not just a toy I was flying around. I'm using it as a function, as a one-man show on the road, learning how to use all this equipment, digital media equipment, the digital camera, the DSLR camera, the wireless mics, collecting clean audio, the light boxes, the camera, adding more visual references into the videos to make it better for people. And then ultimately, the most important goal is, getting this footage to the Library of Congress so we can file all those stories, the important Gold Star stories and the family stories with them, so that, you know, future generations can really understand the sacrifices that everybody made and went through. So that's really, really important. And that's the whole key to this thing. And for me, you know, myself, the healing journey is going on the road and finding out where I fit. You know, I mean, I've been 26 years, most of my adult life in the military, and doing this healing journey. You know, a lot of people will be like, you know, thank you for your service and stuff, and that's wonderful, and it's great to hear that, and I love hearing that. But it's hard to find out where I fit, you know, after I spent most of my adult life in the military. And I've been in the military, living out of suitcases and on deployments and all over the world, longer than I've been at home, you know. But I grew up in the country, in the mountains, you know, right, you know, like redneck kid in the mountains with no rules, you know. I'd be outside playing all day, and Mom would just lay on the car horn when it was time to come back for dinner or whatever. And I love living like that, you know. And that's in my blood, and those kinds of things are things that I want to learn about, the families that are out there, all the Gold Star families, and how their children were raised, and what made them want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. So I'm really looking forward to put all this stuff together, and that's the bigger picture. That's what's bigger than me about this whole thing is doing that. So, well, without any further ado, I hope everybody has a great Easter weekend, and thank you for joining me here tonight. And Keith from Gold Star Dirt, out.